Welcome, I'm Ijoma Bunyato. Tonight, clash between soldiers and police in Damaturu, Yobe state capital, leaves at least 4 people dead. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo offers assurance of ongoing negotiations for release of more Chibok schoolgirls still in Boko Haram captivity. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission recovers huge sums of money in dollars, pounds and naira from Ikoyi apartment in Lagos State. And opposition political parties and civil society organizations in South Africa protest in Pretoria, demand Zuma's resignation.
And on business news tonight, federal government to delay 20 billion green bond sale pending the passage of the 2017 budget.
On sports news, the Nigeria Referees Association appeals for protection following rising tide of hooliganism in the Nigeria Professional Football League.
And from Abuja, northern delegates at the 2014 National Conference ask federal government to reject CONFAB's recommendations, allege northern region's inadequate representation.
At least 4 people have been killed following a clash between the military and police personnel in Damaturu, the Yobe state capital, northeast Nigeria. The residents were said to have been jolted by sounds of heavy artillery and gunfire in the town, forcing government officers and people who had opened their places of business to close early. Channels Television was prevented from filming the clash by security officials who seized the camera used by our crew in the process. The commander of the 27th Task Force, Brigadier General Aminu Bande, and the Yobe State Commissioner of Police, Sumonu Abdul Maliki, who briefed journalists after a security meeting, said the matter is being addressed.
Calm streets of Damaturu, the Yobe State capital, and residents going about their normal businesses. But that was not the situation earlier in the day when sporadic gunshot sounds were heard around the town, coming from a clash between the army and the police. The situation resulted in the death of at least 4 persons and several wounded. Some eyewitnesses told Channels Television off camera that the clash was caused by the abduction of a Mopol squadron commander by some soldiers. The injured security personnel and civilians are receiving treatment in this hospital, the state's specialist hospital, but we are not allowed into the building. After a closed-door meeting with the state government, the commander of the 27th Task Force Brigade, Buniyadi, General Aminu Bande, and the Commissioner of Police, Sumonu Abdul Maliki, promised to find the perpetrators and prosecute them.
I want to assure you that the situation is under control. It is just a minor issue between 2 individuals, which transcend into smaller issues. I want to assure the public that peace has been restored. People are going about doing their normal activities and everything is under control. I want to assure you that the officer has also been arrested. Just in the manner of the military, we are going to set board of inquiry, we are going to set military police investigation. If it warrants sending the officer for the court martial, he will go.
This is an issue between 2 sister agencies. You can see the brigade commander beside me. We talk on daily basis. We send CTF on daily basis. We are fired for a common purpose, and that is what is before us. This small one should not be allowed to dampen the confidence of members of the public in us in any way. The military has come, they have laid their lives, they have paid with their blood to restore peace.
Today's clash brought renewed fears into the minds of the residents who have been enjoying a relative peace after the military routed the Boko Haram insurgents from the state.
For those who may have given up hope in the talks for the release of the remaining Chibok girls, there appears to be reason for fresh optimism. And that's because the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, says talks are ongoing for the release of more of the schoolgirls still being held by the Boko Haram militants. The Vice President said this during an interactive session with journalists and activists at the State House in Abuja last night. He said the progress has been made in the negotiations, but cited the emergence of two factions in the Boko Haram camp as reason for the seeming difficulty in securing the release of the girls. Meanwhile, on day 3 of the activities in the lead-up to the 3rd anniversary of the Chibok girls' abduction, the leaders of the Bring Back Our Girls group once again marched in the nation's capital. A co-convener of the group, Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, who led the march, said the way a nation regards its children will manifest in its future development. Our correspondent Ajuri Ngelale reports.
Having taken a back seat to other advocates thus far, BBOG leaders on Wednesday took the lead in protest. With sweat pouring and purpose evident, they march in silence. Concluding the procession, BBOG leaders say government must respond to citizen demand.
The government under which they were abducted pretended that Chibok girls did not exist for many days before it took delayed and tentative, unfocused action. Last October, it got 21 of our Chibok girls released. This government, especially our president, must know that integrity is not complete until it is consistent.
Thereafter, creative artists joined the group to express their support for the freedom of the Chibok girls.
It's gone global now. First it was all about Nigeria and what's happening here, but now it's really global. It is not fair that kids were taken away from their homes, from their parents for 3 years, and we're still here talking about the exact same thing. So I really think it's high time that the artists step up and use our gifts to speak up and then cause people to know more about what's really happening.
We have failed our Chibok girls.
Emphasizing that the way a nation treats its children will determine the extent of that nation's future progress, Dr. Obi Ezekwesili expresses herself in song.
Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be.
Creativity and emotion have combined to alter the course of history in various places. In the context of the current situation, the people present here remain hopeful that what has been will change into what can be. Ajuri Ngelale, Channels Television News.
It's another major breakthrough for the EFCC today, as the agency reportedly raided a home in Lagos where it says it recovered huge sums of money in dollars, pounds and naira. Although the agency did not disclose the home from where this huge cash was recovered, it says it recovered $38 million, $23 million and another £27,000 from the same apartment somewhere in Ikui. This huge discovery is coming days after the EFCC operatives announced the recovery of €547,730 and $21,090, as well as €5,648,500 naira from a bureau de change operator in Balogun Market, Lagos. Also, prior to that recovery, the Commission recovered another huge sum of money hidden in an abandoned shop, also in Lagos. A federal high court sitting in Lagos has threatened to issue a bench warrant for the arrest of the Attorney General of Oyo State, Mr. Seun Abimbola, and a member of staff of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Yinka Fatoke, for allegedly refusing to appear before the court. Justice Muhammad Idris threatened to order the arrest of the two Oyo State officials after former Governor Rashidi Ladoja's lawyer, Bolaji Onilenla, drew his attention to the fact that they've been treating the orders of the court with disdain. The court had in February issued a summons on both men to appear and produce some documents needed by the former governor for his defense, following an application to that effect. While cross-examining the first prosecution witness, Adewale Atonda, Mr. Onilanla said efforts to get the required documents from the two state officials had so far been unsuccessful. There have been more attacks by militants on residents of Ishawo community in Ikorodu area of Lagos State, and as worried as the authorities are, they seem to be unable to do more. Speaking during an on-the-spot assessment, the Assistant Inspector General of Police says the government on the police says it's preparing to beef up security in the area.
A ghost land. That best describes the present situation in Ishawo community in Ikorodu area of Lagos, days after the militants attacked security men in the area. Most of the residents have moved out of their homes for fear of further attacks. The new Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Lagos and Ogun States, Adamu Ibrahim, is here to perform his first official outing since arriving in the zone.
We took back here to go and take photos. Yes. The DPO was there.
The commander in charge of Ikorodu area recounts the ordeal of the security operatives in the hands of militants who had invaded Ishawo community in the early hours of Sunday. According to him, the police and the military had responded to the call by members of the community, but the militants laid an ambush leading to the killings.
As they were coming out.
At close range, the DPO was part of it. At close range, they got the DPO.
Okay, the DPO.
Some members of the community who came around and seen the heavy security presence pleaded with the government to come to their aid.
People are dying here. People are dying. Several lives have been lost. We want government to come and rescue us out by mounting, if not a barrack. Because there was a time we had the challenge, we called the military man came, they responded to our call. But they told us they are not naval officers, that they can't go through the water. That was said we can bring the naval to support them. They will be on the land, the naval will go through this thing. So we want a barracks to come and be mounted here.
You can see the environment and the terrain. Okay. Is it an easy trail? But our coming now is part of the preventive measures, so that it doesn't occur again. We have to be proactive. That's why we're trying, I come personally to assess the situation so that we can strategize to avoid recurrence of this incident. And there are two other locations we're going to now to see so that we can assess and see how to strategize and secure the place the more. But I assure you we'll take care of the situation.
With the claim by the residents that the militants have not given up, it is only left for the security agencies to match words with action and end the series of attacks in this area once and for all.
Staying with security matters, suspected militants have killed 2 mobile policemen and a civilian, while 5 others were allegedly kidnapped by gunmen in Ashagun community of Ibejuleki area of Lagos. A source confirmed to Channels Television that the militants stormed the community in their numbers in the afternoon, shooting sporadically. Attempts by a mobile policeman along the expressway to dislodge the hoodlums resulted in the killing of the 3 victims and abduction of the residents. The militants had last week kidnapped a trader in a neighbouring community along Ibeju Road. The identities of the slain policemen, however, remain unknown. Meanwhile, the Department of State Services says it successfully foiled plans by Boko Haram to attack the UK and American embassies and other Western interests in Abuja. It revealed this while giving a list of its achievements in the last 2 months, which included the reduction of kidnapping and other crimes. In March, the service said it busted a ring of ISIS-linked Boko Haram members based in Benue State and the FCT, while it arrested a 20-year-old Boko Haram member, Adamu Dati. The terrorists are already undergoing detailed investigations. They say the gains were made with the help of members of the public who volunteered credible intelligence. In the meantime, the Benue State Governor, Mr. Samuel Ortom, has increased the bounty for the capture of Tewase Akwaza to 10 million naira. The reward for the suspect, also known as Ghana, follows the recent arrest of 18 associates of the gang leader and recovery of a large cache of arms. Governor Ortom revealed this at an event held in the honor of his retiring Deputy Superintendent of Police, Jimmy Agagu.
We are quite committed. One terrorist that we declared wanted more than 10 months ago, called Tewase Akwaza. We're still in search of him, and we want you, if anyone with information, we have earlier placed a reward of 5 million naira just yesterday, where I went to Zakibian in Ukum local government and visited Ayati, where his terrorist group came and killed innocent people. I decided to increase the reward to 10 million naira.
In part 2, after the break, House of Representatives to invite former President Goodluck Jonathan to face investigation into oil prospecting license 245 sale. Ex-president denies Malabu bribery charge. That's in a moment. You stay with us.